Yo, you won't believe what just went down in the hip-hop world. Gucci Mane's clone, yes. You heard that right. Completely lost it after Kanye West dropped a bombshell and exposed the shocking truth that no one saw coming. The room went silent, jaws dropped, and chaos erupted instantly. Fans are in a frenzy, social media is blowing up, and everyone is asking the same question. Is this real life, or did hip-hop just hit peak madness? From mysterious leaks to behind-the-scenes footage, Kanye didn't hold back, revealing secrets that had been buried for years. Gucci Mane's clone tried to keep a cool face, but the reactions were priceless screams, shocked looks, and yes, some moments you won't forget. This isn't just drama. This is a full-on hip-hop spectacle that's shaking the culture to its core. And trust me, this story has layers. We're talking betrayal, hidden agendas, and a reveal that nobody in the industry saw coming. Every comment, every clip, every reaction is adding fuel to the fire. By the end of this video, you'll know why this moment is already being called one of the most insane events in rap history. So buckle up, because the Gucci Mane clone meltdown is just the tip of the iceberg. Stick around, watch the night started, like any other at one of Atlanta's most exclusive private clubs. The velvet ropes, flashing lights, and thumping bass set the perfect scene for the city's elite. But nobody could have predicted the chaos that was about to unfold, a chaos that would shake the very foundation of hip-hop. Word on the street was that Kanye West had something massive to reveal. Something so explosive it would leave the entire industry talking for months, and everyone was here to witness it. Inside the VIP section, Gucci Mane was seated with his usual entourage, sunglasses hiding the subtle tension in his eyes. But tonight, he wasn't alone. There was someone, or rather something, that looked exactly like him. Fans and insiders had been whispering for months about a so-called Gucci Mane clone, a mysterious figure who had been appearing at shows, events, and even social media posts, leaving fans questioning what was real. And now, the truth was about to hit like a lightning bolt. As Kanye made his entrance, the room went silent. Known for his unpredictable antics and hard-hitting exposés, everyone knew this wasn't just a casual appearance. He took the stage with confidence, microphone in hand, eyes scanning the crowd. "Tonight," Kanye began, "I'm about to reveal the truth, something that's been hidden from the world for too long." Murmurs rippled through the room. What could it be? Everyone's attention was fixed on him. But all eyes were secretly shifting between Kanye and the clone sitting awkwardly across from Gucci Mane. Then, it happened. Kanye dropped a folder, a USB, and a series of photos on the table. The images flashed across screens around the club, side-by-side comparisons of Gucci Mane and his so-called clone, highlighting details that nobody had noticed before. Subtle gestures, facial expressions, even voice recordings were analyzed. The room gasped. Even die-hard fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. This wasn't just impersonation. It was something far deeper. Something that many would call surreal. Gucci Mane's face tightened. The clone, attempting to stay calm, shifted nervously, but the tension was electric. Kanye's voice echoed, "This isn't just a lookalike. This is a man who's been feeding lies, creating confusion, and messing with the culture we built. And now, the world knows." Every word hit like a hammer. Social media insiders were already live streaming, captions popping up, "Gucci Mane clone exposed by Kanye. Hip-hop meltdown live." Within seconds, the news spread like wildfire. The clone tried to speak, stammering out excuses, but the room was unforgiving. Cameras flashed, fans shouted, and even celebrities whispered among themselves. The shock wasn't just about the clone, it was the audacity, the boldness of it all. Kanye had pulled back the curtain, revealing not just a man pretending to be Gucci Mane, but an entire network of secrets, lies, and hidden manipulations that had gone unnoticed. As the night progressed, the tension escalated. The clone's meltdown began subtly, a twitch here, a nervous glance there, but soon escalated into full-blown panic. The crowd watched in stunned silence as the figure attempted to justify his actions, denying everything, yet every word seemed to dig the hole deeper. Gucci Mane remained composed, though his eyes betrayed a mixture of anger, disbelief, and the unmistakable sting of betrayal. It wasn't just about the clone, it was about what this incident meant for his legacy. Meanwhile, Kanye's expose didn't stop at visuals. He shared insider audio texts and leaked messages, providing irrefutable evidence that connected the clone to a series of deceptions spanning years. Fans leaned in closer, jaws dropping, phones recording every moment. It was a masterclass in revelation, a spectacle that blurred the line between entertainment and reality. By the end of the night, one thing was clear. This wasn't just a club drama, it was a turning point in hip-hop history. The clone's meltdown, captured on live cameras, would be dissected by media outlets. Memes would flood social media, and industry insiders would spend weeks analyzing every detail. Gucci Mane had faced imitators before, but never on this scale. Never with this kind of public exposure, and as the lights dimmed and the crowd slowly dispersed, the questions lingered. What does this mean for Gucci Mane's empire? How deep does this network of deception go? And most importantly, what will happen next in this unfolding saga? One thing was certain. Hip-hop would never see anything like this again, and the world was just waking up to the full chaos of the night. The morning after the nightclub incident, Atlanta was buzzing like never before. Social media had erupted overnight with clips of the clones' meltdown, Kanye's explosive expose, and Gucci Mane's unflinching reaction. Memes, reactions, and theories flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, fans and haters alike, dissecting every frame, every word, every subtle gesture. It was clear that this story wasn't going to fade anytime soon. The city and the world wanted answers. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Gucci Mane was already his private office, usually calm and methodical, was now a hub of frantic energy. His team of managers, lawyers, and advisors crowded around him, screens displaying feeds of the viral footage. Every media outlet was calling, wanting statements, interviews, and exclusive reactions. But Gucci knew that this wasn't a PR moment. It was a moment that required precision. The clone's audacity had gone beyond personal attacks. It was an assault on his legacy, his name, and everything he had built over decades. The clone, on the other hand, had vanished into hiding. Sources close to the nightclub confirmed that he had fled immediately after the incident, terrified and humiliated. Rumors began circulating. Some claimed he had been hired by rival groups to create chaos. Others suggested he had been attempting to manipulate Gucci's brand for personal gain. Whatever the truth, one thing was certain: the man's reputation was in ruins. And the world now knew the shocking reality. Kanye, ever the orchestrator of controversy, had not finished. He took to Instagram Live that afternoon, streaming from his private studio in Los Angeles. "I don't do this lightly," he said, pacing in front of a wall covered in awards and memorabilia. What happened in Atlanta wasn't just entertainment. It was a reflection of how far some people will go to fake reality, to steal culture, and to confuse the public. Fans tuned in by the hundreds of thousands, comments flying in faster than anyone could read. Kanye played more clips, hidden messages, photos, and audio recordings that traced the clone's attempts to infiltrate Gucci's inner circle. The fallout extended far beyond just Gucci Mane and his clone. Collaborators, promoters, and even some of the biggest names in hip-hop were forced to take sides. Some supported Gucci, condemning the clone and praising Kanye's bold revelation. Others, more skeptical, questioned whether the clone had been set up or if there were deeper manipulations at play. The debate raged across podcasts, YouTube channels, and radio shows. Everyone had an opinion, and every opinion fueled the fire. Inside the clone's hideout, panic set in. The man could barely move without thinking of the footage being dissected online. Notifications exploded on his phone, journalists demanding interviews, fans mocking him relentlessly, and industry insiders speculating about his motives. He tried contacting lawyers, but even they warned him. This wasn't just a legal battle. This was a war over credibility and identity. Every lie he had spun was unraveling before the public eye, and there was no turning back. Back in Atlanta, Gucci Mane was taking a different approach. He didn't respond publicly with rage or threats. Instead, he focused on rebuilding his narrative, emphasizing authenticity, creativity, and control over his legacy. Behind the scenes, he and Kanye even began strategizing for the next move. Could they leverage this chaos into something positive? Could this moment be transformed into a story of power, resilience, and the truth triumphing over deceit? The possibilities were endless, but timing was critical. By the evening, the story had taken on a life of its own. Media outlets dubbed it the clone scandal, with headlines questioning the boundaries of fame, impersonation, and authenticity in hip-hop. Fans debated whether this was the start of a new type of celebrity warfare, where imitation and deception became weapons. And somewhere in the shadows, the clone realized that this incident had permanently altered his life. No apology, explanation, or denial could undo what Kanye had revealed. Despite the chaos, one thing was undeniable. The incident had cemented Kanye's reputation as a cultural disruptor, Gucci Mane's legacy as untouchable, and the clone's place in infamy. Social media analytics showed unprecedented engagement. Hashtags like #GucciCloneExposed, #KanyeReveal, and #HipHopChaos trended worldwide. The industry was watching, waiting to see how the fallout would continue, and speculating about the next moves from all parties involved. And as the sun set over Atlanta, a quiet tension lingered in the air. Everyone knew this was far from over. The clone's next move, Gucci Mane's response, and Kanye's ongoing involvement would shape not just this story, but potentially the future of hip-hop drama itself. The night of exposure had passed, but the ripple effects were just beginning. Promising that the world had not seen the last chapter in this explosive saga, The days following the exposure were like a storm that refused to calm. Atlanta and the hip-hop world at large had become a pressure cooker of speculation, confrontation, and relentless social media scrutiny. The clone's identity, motives, and every misstep had been dissected, leaving him with nowhere to hide. Calls from industry insiders, journalists, and even former associates flooded his phone relentlessly. Panic had replaced confidence, and paranoia had overtaken every plan he thought he had. He knew one wrong move now could destroy him entirely. Gucci Mane, meanwhile, was navigating the chaos with precision. Unlike the clone, he didn't need to explain himself. He didn't need to prove his authenticity because it had been established long ago. Instead, he focused on reclaiming control over the narrative. Meetings were scheduled with his team, strategists were brought in, and a campaign began to subtly but unmistakably reinforce his brand. Authenticity, dominance, and power. Gucci Mane wasn't just surviving the scandal, he was using it to strengthen his empire. Kanye, ever the orchestrator, continued to fuel the fire. Clips, behind-the-scenes footage, and additional recordings were strategically released, each carefully timed to maximize impact. Fans were mesmerized, critics were divided, and media outlets had no choice but to cover every development. With every release, the clone sank deeper into irrelevance, his credibility crumbling with each passing hour. The once bold impersonator was now a cautionary tale, his public image tarnished beyond repair. The clone attempted to make contact with key figures in the industry, hoping for guidance, support, or even a chance to apologize. But everywhere he turned, doors closed. People were afraid of being associated with him. They knew the backlash would be immediate and unforgiving. Every move was tracked online, every word scrutinized, and every attempt at redemption met with ridicule. The world had seen the truth and it was damning back in Atlanta. Gucci Mane and Kanye weren't just watching, they were calculating. This wasn't a moment for revenge. It was a moment for legacy. Plans were discussed quietly about collaborations, events, and potential projects that could turn the exposure into a cultural milestone. For Gucci Mane, it was clear the scandal had amplified his relevance, proving his status as untouchable in a world that often celebrated chaos over truth. Meanwhile, the public spectacle of the clone's downfall created an entirely new form of engagement. Fans debated endlessly on social media. Was this a stunt gone wrong, or a crime against Gucci Mane's reputation? Memes, reaction videos, and live streams popped up in a frenzy. The clone's name became synonymous with humiliation, while Gucci Mane's rose higher, untarnished and respected. Hip-hop journalists analyzed every angle, every clip, and every tweet, further cementing the story in cultural history. As the week progressed, the clone realized the irreversible truth. His attempt to imitate, manipulate, and capitalize on Gucci Mane's fame had failed spectacularly. He had underestimated the power of authenticity and the meticulous precision of those who protected it. Kanye's involvement had amplified the fallout, and GucciManes.com, but calculated handling had left no room for recovery. The public had already passed judgment, and there would be no second chance. In an unexpected twist, some of the industry's veterans began to weigh in. Interviews surfaced in which established artists praised Gucci Mane for his poise, resilience, and ability to turn adversity into power. Comparisons were made between this event and past celebrity scandals, with commentators agreeing that the clone's exposure would be remembered as one of the most dramatic and instructive moments in modern hip-hop. The story had transcended a personal conflict. It had become a lesson in fame, authenticity, and the high stakes of the entertainment industry. By the end of the month, the dust had settled. The clone remained in hiding, attempting to piece together a strategy that could salvage what little credibility remained. Social media, podcasts, and YouTube channels continued to reference the scandal, but Gucci Mane had emerged victorious. His empire, reputation, and legacy were stronger than ever, while the clone became a cautionary tale whispered about in the corridors of the music industry. Kanye's role as the exposer had cemented his reputation for fearlessness and cultural influence, demonstrating once again that he could control a narrative. Like few others, the scandal also ignited discussions about the future of celebrity impersonation, identity manipulation, and the ethics of digital media. Experts debated whether tighter regulations, clearer authentication methods, or stricter industry oversight were necessary to prevent similar incidents. Meanwhile, fans continued to dissect every move, every social media post, and every interview, keeping the conversation alive long after the initial exposure and the final reckoning. One thing was clear: the clone's plan had backfired catastrophically. The exposure, humiliation, and public backlash were permanent. Gucci Mane had not only survived the crisis, but had elevated his status, proving his resilience and dominance in a world where fame is fragile and fleeting. Kanye had ensured the truth was broadcasted, leaving no room for deception, and the public had witnessed an unprecedented drama unfold in real time. As Atlanta returned to its usual rhythm, the lessons lingered. Fame, authenticity, and strategic thinking mattered more than ever. The clone had learned this the hardest way, while Gucci Mane and Kanye emerged as the ultimate victors in a saga that would be remembered for years. Hip-hop had survived another storm, but those who had underestimated the power of truth and reputation had paid the ultimate price. The clone's story had ended, but the legacy of Gucci Mane and Kanye's audacious exposure would echo throughout the industry, setting a new standard for accountability, authenticity, and drama in the world of celebrity culture. Yo, hip-hop fam. If you thought you knew the real Gucci Mane, think again. This saga just flipped everything on its head. From shocking revelations to insane drama, this story proves one thing: authenticity always wins. Kanye West didn't just expose a clone, he reminded the world that truth can't be faked, and nobody gets away with trying to imitate a legend. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Were you shocked by the clone's audacity? Or did you see it coming? Who do you think handled the drama better? Gucci Mane with his calm, calculated moves? Or Kanye West with his fearless exposure? We want to hear your takes, reactions, and even your predictions for what happens next. And don't forget, hit that like button if this story blows your mind. And make sure to subscribe for more breaking hip-hop news, behind-the-scenes drama, and uncensored updates from the streets and the industry. Share this video with your crew so they can witness the saga to be, because this isn't just another celebrity story. It's a lesson in fame, power, and authenticity that every fan needs to see. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Trust us. The next chapter in hip-hop drama is coming, and you'll want to be front row for every twist and turn. The streets are talking, the fans are reacting, and history is being made. So comment, like, share, and subscribe now, because in this world, being in the know is everything.